Hello and welcome to the Holy Hour Podcast, the bi-weekly all-cure podcast. I'm Gavin. Thanks so much for joining us. Hope you guys are all doing well out there. We have a wonderful show ahead for you today, tonight, this morning, whenever you may be listening to this. But before we dive into this wonderful program, I want to give a shout out to our Patreon crew. If you are curious, be sure to go on over to patreon.com/the Holy Hour Podcast and see what's going on over there. Lots of bonus and cool stuff to check out and see if you want to be part of the action, like our new best friends Suzanne, Donna, Craig, and Jeff, and Matt, who we're going to have on the show actually pretty soon, so keep your eyes peeled for that one, and Jeff, and Claire, and we also got Lisa up in Calgary, who also wants us to spread the word about a cool bar up there named Dickens, and the owner, Chris, has been doing some hosting of live streaming DJ sets every week on his Twitch channel. The channel is called Dickens YYC, and he streams every Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time and Fridays at 9 p.m. on Mountain Standard Time. And it's all our favorite kind of tunes, and it sounds like there's a really cool chat that goes along with it, so you guys can chat with other people that are just hanging out listening to cool tunes that would otherwise have been played in the bar. So sounds cool. Go check it out on Twitch. Again, that's Dickens YYC on Twitch on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And that's at 8 and 9 Mountain Standard Time. Thanks for the heads up on that, Lisa. And Scott, our buddy, who co-hosts the wonderful Star Wars podcast, Sarlacc Digest. You should definitely check out their YouTube page. Just go on over to YouTube and you can catch their live shows on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific time, and that's where you'll catch the live shows. You can also catch all their back catalog of episodes there, and including specials with interviews of legit Star Wars authors and actors, so all kinds of cool stuff. We always love talking to Scott, and he's a diehard Cure fan too, so we're hoping to have him back on the show soon, tossing around some ideas, so I'm looking forward to that. But definitely check out Sarlacc Digest Wednesday nights on YouTube. Any level Star Wars fan, you're going to dig it. It's a great show. And Kate, our buddy, who has the amazing website, Curethreads.com, and creates a variety of products there that you need to check out. Her original art and designs and recreations of shirts that might look a little bit familiar to you, as in from Robert Smith's own personal fashion choices over the years. She's recreated the Team Cure jersey, infamous Love Cat shirt, and the floral patterns from Mixed Up. All kinds of cool stuff, but you know what? As much as I'd love to go on and on about it, we're going to talk to Kate this episode. She's our guest, so this is a perfect segue. We're going to talk about her upcoming children's book she's released. We're going to talk about her Cure origin story. We're going to talk about Wild Mood Swings turning 25 years old. And, of course, Curethreads.com. So she's going to give you a better scoop on it than I'm rambling on about. So let's just say one more giant, great big thank you to the Patreon subscribers as we start the show. Welcome to the Holy Hour Podcast. It's the All Cure bi-weekly podcast. I'm Gavin, and I'm joined by Donald and Chaz, and our very special guest tonight, Kate. How's it going, Kate?
Hi, Kate.
All right. How you doing?
Pretty good. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Kate.
Cool. Well, yeah, just on the top, I want to thank everybody. We had some scheduling reissues and shufflings here at the last minute, so thanks to all you guys for making this work, and glad we could pull it off tonight. Here we are.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be great.
It's going to be great.
Woo! Yeah.
You can feel feel the energy in the air. We got a lot to cover in this episode. This is meant to be an 18-part miniseries, but tons that I want to talk to Kate about. So here we are. We figured Act 1, our guest of honor, Kate, here. We figured we'd dive into your origin story. We haven't had one of these on the podcast in a while, and no better place to start than the beginning, right? So,
Great.
So,
Origin stories are the best, by the way. They're my favorite My favorite fucking episodes every fucking time. Hands down.
Why didn't you like Phantom Menace then?
So where did this all begin for you, Kate? Where did you, I guess, first grow up, and what kind of music first caught your ear?
Well, so I grew up in blue-collar Delaware County, which is a suburb of
Delco.
Philadelphia. Yeah, Delco, man. Delco. If my
Dirty
Delco
Delco.
accent comes out, you're going to hear it.
You
A little bit
got
of
some water
Tina Fey.
on Saturday?
I've got some water
Water
On my
on
stoop.
Saturday? Yeah, on the stoop.
on the stoop. Yep.
Is
Yeah.
this like a Philadelphia suburb or something?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
near the airport. We call it Airport Square,
Nice.
So I grew up in a neighborhood that was full of blue collar families. I grew up in a
Nice.
Catholic family. I went to 13 and a half years of Catholic school.
Jesus
Did you grow up in Upper
Christ.
Darby?
Fuck.
Upper Darby, Upper Drugs. I went to Prendy, which was also known as the whorehouse on the hill by the locals. It was an all-girls high
Jesus
school.
Christ.
Tell us more about this.
You just said the
Well,
whorehouse on the hill.
Every Catholic high school had its nickname, especially the girls' schools. So you had to have something like that.
Yeah.
But that's where I had my musical renaissance, because when I was growing up, I had very little exposure, being the eldest sibling in a family of 6 kids. I didn't have the cool big sister or big brother to introduce me to stuff. So I was highly dependent on the radio. So technically my first record that I ever got was Thriller.
Okay.
Michael Jackson's.
It's a classic.
That didn't
my
age
first-
well.
Many kids first, yeah. That's
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
And then my first, I didn't hear what you said. I'm just going to ignore it. So my first cassette tape was Duran Duran.
okay.
And I was looking through the few relics I have from back in the day. And my first two, the only 2 things I have on 45s are actually from 1989. One is Fascination Street, and the other is Free Fallin'. Free Fallin'.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Which was like an anthem of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I got to high school, that's when my world opened up, because I was exposed to other people who had big brothers and sisters with cool music tastes, and that's when I started with the B-52s, and U2 were like my entry drugs, and then
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Depeche Mode and The Cure and New Order and the
Around what
Smiths
year
and
was
Violent-
this, if you don't mind me?
Violent Femmes.
Was it like Cosmic Thing era and stuff, or?
Yeah, so 88 was like the transition between Kiss Me and Staring at the Sea, Standing on a Beach,
Yeah.
and then Disintegration.
Nice.
And
What a good
so
time period
I-
to hit, too. Like, when you
It
bump
was.
into
It
them,
was
you
a-
know?
Yeah, that's totally when we got on board too, around 88, or I did, I guess, and then Donald went around 89 there, a little later,
Yeah.
or 90 even, but yeah, it's crazy.
I was
Just-
8.
Yeah. little
Oh my
Little
God!
Muppet baby Chaz running around. Well, I guess we were like 11
was
and
watching
12 or
Barney.
something, but at the same time we were...
I was wishing I was MC Scat Cat with
Yeah.
Paula Abdul. That's what I was wishing.
Oh!
Still listening to that on the side, too. I was just like... my Cure pins and stuff, but then I'd be like, Scat Cat's pretty rad.
He's funky as shit.
Do you recall the
He's got
first...
some sick rhymes, man.
Do you recall the first time that you had heard or been introduced to the Cure then, Kate?
I think it was when we moved from Norwood to Clifton Heights, both in Delco, a few miles from each other. But I suddenly got access to college radio and a local high school radio station, and I remember vividly hearing "Why Can't I Be You" for the first time.
Awesome.
And freaking out, thinking, oh my God, I've never heard anything so weird in my life, and I love it.
Totally.
And then taping it off the radio, as you do, and
That's
then
the best.
playing it like for my younger brothers and sisters so I could be the influence. And my mom was like, what is this crap? And that was it. Like, as soon as my mom hated it, it was the best thing ever.
And she's like so right. She's like, these horn lines are fucking ridiculous. Like, you guys stop it. Like, this is ruining your life.
The
This
dark
song is
era.
fucking
That's what
dumb.
you need to start on. Gotta start with 17 seconds.
That's right. She hadn't heard All Cats Are Great.
Yeah,
yet.
give
She
her a
had-
break, man.
You gotta ease her into that.
Cut her some slack, all right?
Hey, Mom, I made you some tea. Do you want to listen to a record? Like,
That's awesome. So it was all radio, though. No, like MTV kind of thing, or
We didn't have cable right away.
Yeah.
So when Fascination Street came out on 120 Minutes, I remember seeing that for the first time at my friend Jenica's house, who went to the public school. So all the publics, we used to call them the publics. There were the Catholics and the publics. And so
Right.
she,
nice.
I would stay over at her house on Sunday nights and stay up late and watch 120 Minutes. And I remember seeing that video and being like,
Yeah.
like, what the fuck is this?
Robert Smith! Robert Smith. And that was it. You know,
Yeah.
That's sick, man.
smitten.
120 minutes always hit, man. Like, that was the best. Like, staying up late and like, woo. Like,
Yeah, it was so cool.
just like, holy shit.
Such a golden era.
There's like no internet, you know. It's just like 120 minutes. It's like, how'd you find out about bands? Like college radio, like that you were lucky to, Kate, and like high school radio. If there was a high school radio station I could tune into right now, like that would be fucking amazing to listen to. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like that's dope. You had access to that.
Yeah,
That's fun.
that's
Yeah.
cool. It's funny how many times we've heard the Fascination Street video in particular too has been one that was like, I guess because it was like that lead off single for Disintegration and stuff too, but like, you know, in hindsight when you look at it now, it's a pretty like them just kind of standing there looking cool and stuff, but it's not like the flashiest video by any means, you know.
No.
But yeah,
It's
it's
true.
totally enough to win everybody over, you know. It's like just look cool, man.
And as a girl, they all looked pretty
Yeah.
good. in that video.
As a guy, they all look pretty fucking good. Man.
Yeah.
Right on.
Even though I hate that song, like in that video, but it's like they're like just propped up, like look at us, we look fucking cool as shit. Like look at our image.
Yeah. Well, it's funny how like the image
It was high
thing.
tech compared to, you know, I mean, I don't think I had seen Just Like Heaven or Why Can't I Be You at that point because they weren't on
Yeah.
VHS, but I had seen the videos on Staring at the Sea or Standing on the Beach. I always get them mixed
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
And
Yeah, me too.
those were, you know, taped on VHS and really poor quality
Yeah.
in comparison to
But just like
Fascination
it's like a
Street.
big like bam, look at this,
Yeah.
like a bright image, like HD style almost. Like
It's cool. So that kind of cemented the deal for you, or were you pretty much a full blown fan by the time Fascination Street video and Disintegration coming out and stuff?
I was already hooked, but then that was
Definitely
That
sealed
was-
the deal.
like my mind was blown enough, I thought, and then Disintegration came
Yeah.
out, and I have the most vivid memory I have of those times was when a friend of mine who ended up becoming kind of like my surrogate older sister in high school, she liked all the cool bands. She had the coolest hair and she wore the leather jacket and she had all the pins, and
Hell
so
yeah.
she was my music education, Danny DeWoody, and I was in her car. I think we were on our way to Summer Stage. We were both in drama stuff and everything.
Right.
And she popped a tape in her cassette player, and the chimes at the beginning of Plain Song, I hadn't heard it yet, and it was
Damn.
probably the day after it came out. And then suddenly the And I was like, what is this? Because it was very different. There was no way of knowing who it was until Robert sang, and that takes several minutes to come in, you know? And she says, this is The Cure's new album. I was like,
Holy shit.
oh my god! It sounds like an orchestra. It's so beautiful. Yeah.
It's a big old punch in the tits, you know? You're like, whoa, what the fuck is this? Like, damn.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty magical time there. Yeah, I'd like to think I was like crazy diehard fan by that point too, but like the idea that next album was Disintegration did send it into like crazy stratosphere of like fandom, you know? It's like,
Right.
you know, it probably would have happened anyway, but at the same time, you know, it's like, oh man, it just happened to be that album too, so it's like, that'll do it, you know? So, pretty cool. So yeah, it's interesting that, you know, like, you're already hooked in with the music and stuff too before seeing them and stuff. I was wondering, like, I'm always curious what people's initial attraction to the music is, or like even the image that sealed it, or I don't know. Was it just the fact that they were kind of different than the other pop bands you'd heard, like when you heard even as far back as the Why Can't I Be You on the radio and stuff?
Yeah, they were different. They didn't sound like anyone else. Robert Smith's voice was unlike anyone else's voice. And they were weird. They just felt weird, and that felt very right, because I had always felt weird and sort of didn't fit in with the people that I grew up with. And when I heard something that was completely different from, you know, Vanilla Ice and whatever else was playing at the day, and this just like it got to my heartstrings. You know?
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you don't like music from the streets.
Nah.
So
I can't say that I don't.
So did you have a Cure crew then, or at least with this one friend? Did you like have like a? I always wonder if.
Go on.
Yeah, I guess so. We all gravitated toward each other pretty naturally.
Yeah.
We were all in art class together, or we were in the school plays together.
Yeah.
That's where you meet every cool fucking person is in like music class, fucking art class, like
Drama.
fuck yeah. Right, yeah, and fucking drama.
Or
Like,
skaters.
yeah, like theater shit, like fuck yeah. That's what's
Cool.
up. That's where I met like, you know, some like fucking weirdos that like turned me on to bands and shit. Like,
Yeah. Cool.
fuck yeah.
Did you happen to catch them on that tour, on the Prayer Tour, or was Wish the first time? When was the first time you saw them live?
So
Later.
my mom refused to take me to a Cure concert because she really disliked Robert Smith. She especially disliked anything that I listened to, but especially The Cure, because they wore makeup, and the first time that I ever shaved the undercut my hair, you know, like I shaved the sides of my head with a razor blade at that point. And she saw it, and she just blamed anything weird that I did on The Cure.
Oh, no. This is that Robert
matter where it
Smith
came
boy
from,
you've been
so.
talking about.
She still hates him. She still does. She's 71 years old. She still hates him. Like, when I told her about the Curethreads stuff, she rolls her eyes. She's like, oh, God, Robert Smith.
That guy still.
Like, yep.
It's funny.
He's like the least offensive dude on the planet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know. That's-
Like, you know, it's like, come on.
I know.
and he's British, and he probably like is like a grandmother, and like kind of, you know, sits around and drinks tea all day.
Yeah.
mean-
And my mom's family is Irish, so you don't like the English.
Right, like
I'm
Irish.
Irish.
Well, from her generation, the from her parents, her grandparents who came here to escape,
Right.
the potato famine and whatnot.
Yeah, fuck
There was
Luther.
still
That old thing.
raw feelings.
Pied Piper or something.
Full of snakes.
Something.
Snakes everywhere.
That
History
Robert
might
Smith,
be off
he's
a little.
responsible for everything.
He brought the famine. He brought the snakes.
Damn you, Robert Smith.
Wasn't Robert Smith? Wasn't he Catholic? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't he Catholic? Yeah. That's
Yeah,
weird.
yeah, he went to Catholic school. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that might be part of the reason I relate.
Totally,
Yeah,
I bet.
Makes sense.
Man, so yeah, when did it happen then, that first live show?
Well, then, so Wish came out, and I was still really wanting to see them. At that point, I had seen Depeche Mode, I had seen the B-52s, I had gone to like little clubs and seen the Dead Kennedys. I had been everywhere,
yeah.
but it just so happened that the year Wish came out, my boyfriend at the time broke up with me, and he would have been the person that I went to with.
Right.
Were you in a
see?
Were you in a full body cast at the time or anything when that happened?
No,
Okay.
no. And the girl who was my biggest like Cure fan friend,
Uh-huh.
she had decided that she was going to go to the Spectrum and sleep outside at the box office the night before. And this was a huge tour. Like the Wish tour was, because of Friday I'm in Love, everybody was going, and tickets were expensive. They were really. So I wasn't allowed to go sleep out for tickets, and if I couldn't just buy a ticket by myself and go sit by myself, so I didn't have anyone else to go with, and or to drive me there or anything. So
Damn.
so the Swing tour was my first
Okay.
tour.
Cool. Yeah, it's.
So you totally
Yeah,
missed out. You
yeah.
didn't go to the show?
Nah, she wasn't able to go. Yeah, I mean, it's.
Damn.
I didn't have my driver's license yet, and if your dad or mom refuses to drive you,
what are you
and
gonna
you don't
do?
have a friend that, what are you gonna do?
That sucks, man.
Yeah, and
So
I mean, and it's that
you
era.
did-
Go ahead, Chaz.
You didn't do the whole I'm going to so and so's house and they're going to this house and you end up at the Spectrum.
I was too afraid to get in trouble.
Okay.
I never would have been able to pull
'Cause I
that
was
off either. It's like there's the things with those
I'm a
cure
really
gaps
bad
too,
liar.
man. It's like you miss that one show, then it's like that's it for like
know.
3 years or whatever. It's like getting to that era too, where it's all
I
like,
know.
all right, you missed it 4 years from now. It's like,
I know. And that felt like forever. Of course, nowadays you're just like, 4 years.
yeah,
that
exactly.
Would be really nice.
That would have been last year.
Yeah.
Or even the possibility of
It would've
just
been
going
8
to
years
like
ago.
another one that's one more city out, as like a semi-adult or, even in college age, you can kind of get a little more adventurous with that. But I was definitely in that realm of like, well,
Yep.
if my brother can't take me, that's it, It's like, so,
Yeah. I'm glad Show was released because at least
Yeah.
then, I mean, up to that point, all we had were bootlegs taken by somebody with a little VHS recorder in the top
right.
the top tier of a stadium. you know?
Right.
So that was like the first really, other than Orange, that was a really nice.
Well, that's pretty rad because it merges right into this Wild Mood Swings era, actually. So it's how convenient. So,
Fuck.
25 years ago.
Did we just lose Donald?
Yeah, this is where
I'm still here.
I was going to go to the bathroom. So,
Get used to it.
So yeah, we did want to merge this in because I think we had gotten the feeling that this was a prime era for you too of being able to go see them, I guess, and 25 years ago now. So that's coming up on the date. It's crazy to feel like that long ago. I put everything in the terms of like James Dean's lifespan, and so like it's crazy to think if he was born the day Wild Mood Swings came out, he'd be dead now. So yeah, it's like wow.
I was 15 when Wild Mood Swings came out.
Okay, yeah, wow.
Oh, that's so cute.
I know.
That's so cute.
Donald and I
I
were
wasn't
just
paying
out of high
attention.
school. Yeah, we were.
I wasn't
You
paying
liar.
attention to Wild Mood Swings.
It was so we must have been 19, I guess, or 19, I guess, when that came out. So this was a big
I
era.
was 22.
Yeah,
I was
so-
22, and I was in college, and I had a driver's license, and I
Uh-uh.
had an obsessive Cure fan boyfriend, and I was in a band
Awesome.
where
yeah.
all we did was play Cure songs.
Sick.
All the stars
In
are
private?
That's
aligned.
fucking dope as shit.
Where did you go for the concert?
So the Philadelphia Spectrum, because that was my hometown, and
Yeah.
I honestly had never even thought about going to more than one show to see a band play
Yeah.
until at that particular show. I mean, this is like jumping ahead, but basically Roger, after the show, like the band was outside after the show, after their after show, we waited out by the bus behind a chain link fence, and Roger had told my boyfriend and I that he was going to put us on the list. This was all through like the Cure chat room,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
and it goes deep. There's a lot of deep stuff here, but he's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you going to go to any other shows?" And I was like, and my boyfriend was like, "No." I was like, well, yes, we are. We're going to go to other shows. So the next one I went to was in Fairfax, Virginia, which I had never heard of before.
Oh, yeah, that's where we saw them. We were at that show.
You! Fairfax, Virginia. Woo!
That's where I went to school. It was the stadium there for George Mason University there. So Patriot Center. So,
Yes, the Patriot Center, yeah.
Fairfax
Yeah.
sucks.
That was a
Fuck you,
great
Fairfax.
show.
yeah.
That show was better than the Spectrum show. The
Okay.
Patriot. I have a VHS tape of that.
Yeah.
That's ill.
bootleg.
That's
And
dope.
it's
How'd you get a
amazing.
VHS tape of that show?
Bootlegs. I didn't take it. Somebody else took it, and you would go to your local record store, and they might have some bootlegs of things.
Yeah.
That's
Local
awesome.
records.
Yeah, that one that's. I wonder if it's the same footage. There's one floating around on live there, and it's a little hard to watch, but it's like enough, so it's pretty cool. Where it's definitely like camcorder shaking around.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
But,
it might be.
But yeah, that was a crazy show. I remember it had some rarities in there for sure. So that's cool. So yeah, we're at the same show. Awesome.
Yeah. How about that?
Wow.
We were in the nosebleeds.
I was gonna say I miss seeing concerts at the Spectrum because like the stage area, like you're like on top of everything, so it's not like it is now with
Yeah.
the way stadiums are set up. Like this thing was so like we saw the Cure there in 2008, and we had tickets that were in the back, but it felt like you were like so close to the front, just the way it's set up. So yeah.
Yeah, no.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sidetrack.
Yeah, no, it's
No, that was
crazy.
that was a good venue.
I don't even know if Patriot Center's there anymore. They might have made that into something else at this point, but oh well. But yeah, so how many shows did you do on the swing tour?
Just 3. Then
Yeah.
we saw them in New York.
Nice. Dang,
Toward the
that's
end.
awesome. Yeah. Did you stay in contact with Roger then, or did you, any other crossovers?
Yeah, so the chat room remained very active, especially after that
Yeah.
tour. And Roger was on all the time. And there was kind of a group of us who were like regulars, obsessive people who would just sit and wait to see if Roger came on, right?
Right.
Because he was the one who would come on. And he I mean, even after they were done recording and they were all back in their homes and everything, he was still going on to the Cure chat. And somebody started up a separate chat channel that was sort of like this secret room, and it was called the upstairs room. And so like only a handful of people knew about it, rather than in hundreds of people that would show up in the other chats where it was really hard to get a word in, because everybody was like, when are you playing this? When are you playing that? When are you coming here? When are you coming there? But we would actually have very casual conversations and joke around. And yeah, he was really into the technology. And he still is in a distant way, but he was very much into interacting with the fans and promising backstage passes and whatnot, and then forgetting.
Yeah.
But that 97, like they did the radio shows in 1997. So between 96 and 97, there was a whole lot of chatting, a whole lot of like talking and back and forth and whatnot.
Awesome. Back when they made records.
Yes.
Yeah.
That time.
That time period. Yeah. Well, I guess jumping back a little bit, speaking of actual records, and the release of Wild Mood Swings then, and this kind of goes for all you guys too, is the anticipation of it. You know, I remember being like a lot of build up, of course. You know, it was like a 4-year gap for the first time, I think, going into that one, and it felt like an eternity, you know. And do you remember any like specific expectations you were hoping the new album would be and stuff, and your reaction to it when you finally got it?
My expectations were different from what ended up being on the album. But in a way, like retro, like looking back, it kind of isn't all that different from Head on the Door, where you have songs where they're experimenting with different kinds of music and different in a way.
Yeah, definitely like Blood and stuff could definitely be in the same family of Wild Mood Swings, and you know,
totally.
It's like all that stuff. But it's funny though.
I'm trying. I'm pulling.
Yeah, when I was thinking of that, like I was like, it was weird because I didn't really have an expectation of like those 4 years waiting for that album to come out. I don't recall ever being like, man, I hope it's really sad, like Disintegration, or I hope it's half and half, like Wish and Kiss Me, or you know, I'm sure I did, but I don't really remember having like a oh, I hope it's this. I think the biggest shock was that it was like, I know it's gonna be like awesome because I loved like 100% of everything to that point, you know. So I think that was like kind of more of the shock, was just like, what, you know, like hearing like one song that was kind of like it was like I just never heard like a Cure song that I wasn't, and it wasn't like that I didn't even like it at first. I was like, whatever, it's a Cure, I'm gonna listen to it tons, you know. But like enough where I kind of like some flags went off, where I'm like, that's kind of not amazing on first listen, but I'll work on it, you know. We'll see.
Work on it.
It's like I'm patient. We got a lot of time here.
It's like a relationship.
But I mean,
there
was
some
weird.
Like really bad kissers on this album.
Yeah.
So, it was like, that was weird.
Yeah. But,
you didn't hold me right the other night. Like,
a lot of people are like the 13th, like from the start, are like, oh, with that song. But I think it was kind of nice that they made that the lead off single, because it was so like out of left field, you know.
Terrible.
Well, I was just kind of like, what the hell, you know, like, but it was so weird that I was kind of like, wow, I wasn't expecting this at all, you know, like no matter what.
Right.
So I didn't even really know if I liked it or not, even. I was just like, okay, cool. So it was kind of nice. If they just like came out blazing with like Mint Car or something, I would have probably had more expectation for it, even thinking it would be like another, you know, Wish kind of album or something with super poppy songs and whatever, you know. But I don't know. It's just it's odd to think back on those first reactions. Do you? Did you have any instant favorite tracks right off the bat, or?
Well, I mean, it's funny because I was at the time I was writing to pen pals that I had gotten through the Cure News. The Cure News, the back page of that had a section called Curethreads, and you could put an ad, like a personal ad for for pen pals. So,
Chris and Janie talking about that. Yeah, you could. So you did that though? So you had a Cure pen pal? Or?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I had a lot. Yeah.
Awesome.
Many.
That's looking dope.
This was pre-social media, pre-internet.
Yeah.
You know?
Are they people you still in touch with, or see at shows even, or?
I saw some shows with a couple of people. I went to London and met a couple of people, and then randomly 2 years ago, feels like last year, in 2019, I got an email from one of my pen pals who said, "Hey, did we used to write letters? Are you the Kate who liked penguins? And do you have any recollection?" And I wrote back and was like, "If it has something to do with the Cure, then yes." And she said, "Okay, well, I have all of the letters you wrote me from 1995 to 1997. Would you like me to send them to you?" And she was in Australia at this point. And I was like, "Oh my God, absolutely." So she did. She sent them in the mail. And this was right around the time that the Cure did, they were in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And, we knew that they were going to be doing the Disintegration album in Australia and whatnot. So, just in 2019, this whole flood of Cure stuff and memories and everything all came back to me when I got these letters. It's like a time capsule, and it's embarrassing, but it's also fun.
That's awesome.
It's dope you have that. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Were you like, why don't you want to keep them? You
don't like me anymore?
What, you don't like? Like break it up or something?
You didn't like our friendship?
You don't reread them?
24 years later.
No, that's awesome.
Well,
She sent them back to you. That's cool that she still had them.
She held on to them because she thought they were special, and she said that
totally
she
are
had
special.
held on to a lot of letters from other pen pals, but those other pen pals, she did the same thing. She sent them an email and she just scanned some of them for them. But mine, because I was an art school chick, I have little doodles of Robert Smith and so she's like, "You might want to actually have these back because they're special." So that was cool.
To you, not so much to me.
She was downsizing. She was going to go live on a boat for a year, so she had to get rid of stuff.
Wow. Okay.
Were the letters mostly like Cure chit chat back and forth, or did you kind of just broaden out from that after a while and just kind of have it be straight up personal talk back and forth, or was it all just Cure talk mostly?
It's like 50-50. There's a lot about my band because I was really intense about the band and the band boyfriend and then her boyfriends, and then we would ask quintessential questions about the meaning of life.
Nice.
And then go on about the Cure for a while, and it was all leading up to Wild Mood Swings, so we were anticipating what's it going to be like.
Oh, cool.
But what was interesting, she was in Ireland, and so she got tickets to Glastonbury in 1995, and she got a recording of it and sent it to me.
Cool.
So they opened that show with Want, and they also played Jupiter Crash and Mit Car. So I heard those songs before I heard the album.
Right.
A year ahead of time.
Oh, man.
It was a year before.
3 of the best songs on the album.
Yeah.
Right.
True. Yeah. It's all going to be like that.
I know. And then you...
Oops.
So I was all ready when I bought. It was the first Cure album I bought on a CD because things had changed, and I went and I got it, and I came home and I got out my diary, and I was gonna write about each song and how it moved me and everything, and so I write about Want, and then.
You still have this diary?
No.
Oh,
I wish I did.
Was
I wish
it
I
like your
did,
first
because-
reaction writing it out? Like what my initial?
Yeah,
Oh
like
man,
hearing this,
awesome.
yeah, like writing as I listened to it. And I remember, I mean, clearly enough, this first song is one. I'm like, yes, I like this song already. It's pretty awesome. And it's the first time we ever hear Jason doing anything. And then Club America starts up.
God
What?
damn.
Huh. Weird
You
voice,
started
but
ripping
cool.
pages out, just like, fuck this, fuck that.
Good guitar work.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So I don't think I heard the 13th before
Okay.
the album came out.
Or since.
Nah. I like the 13th still. I stand by.
It. Honestly, I was listening to it at my son's baseball game today, and I was enjoying the album more than I have in a long time.
Yeah.
It's
Because you were
a lot of it. No. Oh my god. I love baseball. Anyway, once I found like once I get like those bad songs,
Yeah.
like once I got past the first like 15 to 20 seconds, there's like some really good parts in there, and then usually it tapers off at the end. But
Yeah.
like even like the 13th, there's like I don't like the opening, but like once I get to the middle, I was enjoying it. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I have to say. Good night.
Yeah, I mean it's the never-ending, thing with Wild Mood Swings. It's how all over the place it is, and how like parts hit right on the head and other parts miss by a mile, and it is just so convoluted, and like that's part of its charm to a certain degree too, and it's like we did the revisionist thing and have talked about that over and over of like, which album could you switch around songs on and the B-sides and stuff like that. And this one's like the one that like definitely holds the most weight of like, if they just kind of rearranged it or something, but it's funny because everybody agrees with that. But at the same time, if anybody switches things around, it's always like completely different songs everybody picks, so it's kind of weird where it's not obvious which ones everyone thinks was like, well, yeah, clearly. I mean, there's a few obvious ones that everybody would leave off, I think. But at the same time, even just choosing the B-sides, because there are still cool B-sides for this album, or it's just like, oh man, that song is so good. Why would they leave it off, and it's just the focus, I think, was just not there, or just so scattered or trying to be different that, that's part of its wild nature. So,
It is.
it's a
And
wild
it's
one.
aptly named, which makes me hate it all the more. Where it's just like,
wild.
what are these? They're Wild Mood Swings. It's wild.
It would have been crazy if they put a Z at the end of Swings.
Yeah. No,
That would have been awesome, and it would have aged perfectly.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, yep, 1996.
Yep.
It's extreme.
God damn. I can't handle that with them. Like, that's where I'm just like, what? Like I thought you guys were better than this. Like, even the naming the songs. Like,
You know that's not totally true, though. I mean, like, how many great albums have stupid names or just, like, not a great name? I mean, it shouldn't come down to the name of the album. So, I mean, that's not really... out of all the critiques for it, you can't really hold that against it. It's like, who cares?
that's what, and the record's covered in toys.
Yeah.
Right? Like all the singles and stuff from that were like little metal toys. It's like,
Yeah.
it's so fucking childish and whimsical. Just saying.
I want to say,
Uh-huh.
for like the record, there are some really fantastic songs on this album.
Yeah.
Yes, there are.
Maybe they needed to get those other things out of their system to get to the really fantastic songs. I don't know.
Tell us the one.
I totally agree.
Ooh.
There's many.
Sometimes you have to do
between
that.
like Jupiter Crash and Bear. Bear is my favorite.
Yeah.
Bear is really good.
It ends
Jupiter
strong.
Crash is
And I-
really good.
Yeah. Treasure, Bear,
Yeah.
Jupiter Crash, Want. I mean, those are all what you could put on any Cure album and they would totally not stand out in the slightest. I love Mint Car too. I think that's a cool song. The lyrics get a little trite, but it's like it's a fun, cool pop song. It's like we've said, I think
Better
it's,
than Friday I'm in Love.
yeah, I'd put it up again. Maybe not lyrically, concept wise, but at the same time, I think it is a better song for sure, especially musically.
Their record's like a fucking I don't know. It's like a sketchbook,
How so?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just like they could do all this
You don't think
wild
it's
shit.
finished? I think they worked on it too much. If anything, it's like,
Maybe they spent
Yeah,
too much time at that house.
yeah, if they had just sketched it, I think it would have been a way better record if they had just like leave about half of the 50 tracks off the console there, pull them down. You don't need all those layers, but I don't know, but yeah, I mean, I think that's just the
They had more horns on this album than the Warped Tour in 1997.
yeah.
Damn.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, there's a lot of
All those ska bands.
it's like,
And sometimes it works.
yeah.
Say, have we ever talked about Mark Price, the guy who played drums on 3 of the songs?
I remember looking him up at one point when we were really diving into this, but I can't remember what his other past credits were and stuff off the top of my head. What's his deal?
Yeah, we mentioned him, but we didn't go
Yeah.
into all the details.
He was, according to Wikipedia, which I'm not going to put too much on it. It said, following the departure of Boris Williams, Price played Mint Car Trap and Treasure on Wild Mood Swings and also on A Pink Dream, a B-side. And then another drummer, Jason Cooper, was ultimately chosen as Boris's replacement. So it sounds like this Mark Price guy was like on the edge of being in the band.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Is that true? Because I thought it just went right from once
yeah.
Boris left.
There are a few different drummers.
Ronald
there was a
Austin. Yeah, Ronald Austin did drums on This Is a Lie. Louis Pavlou drums on Club America. And then Mark Price did 3 songs and then a B-side.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's half the album that Jason wasn't even on.
Yeah.
So.
They were just auditioning drummers and recording, doing a double dip.
Yeah, they were.
Audition drummers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just
makes
find it
sense.
weird that this one dude it looks like a pretty established drummer by his credits.
Yeah. I
was
remember.
on 3-4 songs.
And those are
And
all
then
pretty
they brought
solid
in,
ones.
yeah. So
He played with, I was looking him up too because I was curious, and he played with All About Eve and Del Amitri. I remember liking both of them,
Yeah.
and I really do like the drums on the songs that he did record.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
That's
those are-
that's what kind of brought it up to me. I was like, man, I really do like Mint Car a lot, and I was like, Treasure's a great song. I was just like, I wonder what the inside story, why did he not get chosen over Jason?
Yeah.
Maybe Mark Price had an attitude.
Yeah, maybe he's a dick for sure.
Robert puts a lot into who he works with.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean, it could be anything. Maybe just the fact that it was taking forever too. The dude was just like, "Well, all right, I got other stuff
That's
I gotta
true.
do. I can't be doing one song every 3 months with this band as much as I love them. So, who knows?
Maybe he was like, "Hey, I got a gig in a ska band on the Warped Tour,
Yeah,
so
maybe.
I can't do this whole Cure gig thing."
The Del Amitri reunion show or something. Who knows?
He's like, "I dig all the horns and stuff, but it's not my style."
Who knows? We're off topic. Where do we go from there? I guess it's safe to say I was thinking of this album and the sentimental attachment to it and just the way that in the era that it came out, what I think is similar with you, Kate, there, and the idea that it might be the last one I have a more innocent sentimental attachment to. Every other album up, I do have an attachment, but it's kind of forced stuff that I kind of made happen, memories of all right, we're gonna go on a trip to see the Cure and also do this, and I'll do these things that coincide with the Cure, as opposed to I do have like a soft spot for Wild Mood Swings in my heart, because of it was such like a pivotal moment of that anticipating this album, and it was that age and shit, and seeing them on that tour and stuff, or it's just like, it kind of feels like the last album I did have like a real sweet kind of sentimental attachment to. Does any of that make sense?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, I feel bad that I wish I
was
had
15,
that.
I don't know.
Yeah, you weren't really. You're like, I don't care. But I don't know. This one, we had those experiences of like sleeping out to get tickets and stuff, and like hanging out with friends, anticipating every little minute of it, and the internet coming out at the same time, even with like you're saying with the web page that was actually interactive and stuff. It was like so many things.
You know what I love? Gavin?
What?
Is just waiting for disappointment.
Waiting for what?
Just waiting for a disappointment. Just sitting there, seeing it coming. You're like, this is gonna suck. Fuck.
You weren't like
And then it
that
happens,
though.
you're like,
for Wild Mood
God,
Swings, you were anticipating it just as much as me. You were all.
I bought a lot of they put out like 1,000 fucking like CD fucking shitty singles that sucked.
After it already came out.
Waiting for Disappointment, a memoir by Donald.
Right, exactly.
I mean, maybe in other
That was my
aspects
nickname in
going
fucking
on.
college.
Did you buy all those singles, Kate? Because they put out like 3 different versions for each like single. It was kind of like.
Yep, I got them. I got one that has like a hologram kind of thing.
Yeah.
For Gone. Gone had like a few different versions.
Yeah. And they're all just
one
different
of them
enough.
has like.
Yeah.
No, not really. Not really.
Yeah.
Not...
Well, not different enough, but at the same time they'd have like one extra song or something. There was at that time there's no other way to get those B-sides. You couldn't like download over anything, or it was kind of like
There are a lot of remixes.
Yeah. But they had trouble mixing the album too, so that kind of made more sense in hindsight when I learned all that of like what a problem it was, like getting it mixed, and like it's like almost every song is like mixed by somebody different almost on that album. It's which might be a bit of an overstatement, but at the same time it is like a ton of different people like mixed the whole thing because they ran out of time, so they just like farmed it out to all these people to mix it. But I mean, to a certain degree,
10 different people mix the album.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
like, 11.
Wow.
Sorry.
It's like you're literally describing a bad album.
Okay,
like, how do you make a bad album? We'll get a bunch of hands in the pot and like, woo, stir it up. It's going to sound like shit and taste like shit.
But at the same time, I mean, just since you're being so clearly negative about it, can't you see some positive in them trying something different? I mean, at this phase, they're just, he's notorious for that, and it's worked like every other time, the whole career up to this point. Every time he's shot something totally in a different direction, it's been like, whoa, that's weird, but it's awesome, and it's like, why wouldn't this work too?
I like the spirit.
I mean, it's like,
I do like the spirit of the album, like in respecting, it's just like, woo, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, it was kind of
just that spirit, but still, it's like that's what you did.
Well, I mean, it's always going to catch up to you at some point. You can't just let's let everyone mix it. Why not?
The wonderful thing was that it didn't do well in the charts, and it didn't attract a lot of people at the live shows, so it was a lot easier to get access to the band than it was any other time.
Were you like
prior to Disintegration, I guess?
Yeah.
Catch a band at their weakest moment. Just like, great.
Well, we're still talking about hanging around a stadium, so it's not like they're playing the fucking Crab Shack down the road or something. It's like they're still doing pretty good, I think. But yeah, I mean, you hear so many stories of, just actually being able to contact them, and a lot of that was like the internet breaking big around that point and stuff, and just different ways, and like you said, just the disconnect from weeding out the people that weren't, like the Wish tour and stuff. It was, remember that from high school, of just like how many like poser Cure fans there were and stuff, or it was just like everybody like was trying to get to that damn thing, you know? It was just like, oh man, it's like
Fucking posers.
fucking Cure poser fans. So only the diehards are sticking around for round and round. So
That's right.
exactly. I can't believe you're being so harsh on it on its 25th birthday. It's sitting there all sad around the birthday cake, and it's like, you're just like, whatever, I never loved you. Eat your cake.
I know I'm a
Eat your
little,
cake
I'm
and
a little
shut up.
saucy with it, like,
Yeah.
because I was just disappointed with like I wanted it so bad, and I was just like disappointed like every fucking turn.
Yeah, well, see, you just
With that album,
just
and
said
I was
you
just
were,
like,
you were
it's
really...
literally like I'm not joking when saying like that's when I fell out of love with like the band.
This memoir sounding better and better.
Yeah.
Well,
I fell out
happy
of
birthday, Wild
Yeah,
Swing.
I'm
Yeah.
so disappointed in you still after all these years.
Hope you choke on your fucking cake.
I bought you another trumpet for your birthday. See if you can fit that in
Yeah.
somewhere.
I guess you didn't like the bugle horn I got you. Like,
Yeah, jeez.
whatever.
Oh.
Well, I feel like Wild Mood Swings is the underdog still. I put this one in there. And I think he gets a bum rep. You know, still has many gems, like we said. So
I agree.
That's I'd buy the deluxe edition. I wish they would have put that out for this.
Jesus.
Speaking of which, I guess they
You
are
got the
putting out the
picture disc
picture
waiting for
disc.
you, buddy.
Yeah, I guess we didn't touch on that. They are, which but I think it's great because so many people didn't have this one probably on. It's kind of starting that, you know, same deal as Blood Flowers, where a lot of people didn't have it on vinyl, so it is cool. But yeah, I don't know what this picture disc infatuation is though. It's
I'm
like just,
I'm fine if they release every single album on a picture disc.
yeah.
Like if you do that, just so you know, it would be a nice project if you're gonna build a Cure wall with or whatever.
Right.
But as far as quality, it sucks. But like I don't know why they just don't release a black vinyl
Yeah.
along with it.
'Cause they
Like,
had been
it's not
doing
like
that,
you're not
right?
gonna sell them.
Didn't they do that to everyone
They
except
did that.
Fucking
They did
listen
that.
to.
They did it twice
Uh-huh.
for the greatest hits and
Mixed up.
torn down one.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it for the last one. So
Weird. Yeah.
it's not like you're not going to sell them,
right.
you know?
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't wait. I was really close to be like, oh, I'll just get like the normal version of Blood Flowers when they put that out, but then I got
Yeah.
impatient. So
But like 17 Seconds and Faith are terrible picture discs.
yeah,
Like there's not enough artwork on them to pop. So
Yeah.
like Wild Mood Swings, that pops as a picture disc. I'm okay with that, but like it's just
I still don't really
I
get
don't
the
it.
like put a different picture on the record at least, or like I don't want to look at the album cover. I don't want to look at anything spinning around in a circle. I mean, is it just so you can like hang it on the wall? I mean, you can just hang the record cover on the wall. I
don't fucking
I
know.
feel like a confused old man or something. I'm like, I don't want to look at the record. I want to listen to it. I want to. It's like I'll just hang the record.
Unless you're gonna
Watch
do
it
like a
spinning round
Danzig,
and round.
What's that?
unless you're gonna do like a Danzig skull that looks like a fucking skull that's gonna be a picture disc. I don't really want a picture disc.
Exactly. I don't know.
Like I'm not listening to it for quality. I'm buying to look at it.
Yeah.
So
Who knows? But like I said, if you don't have it on vinyl, I guess that's a good reason to go stand in line. I saw that Frankie Rose 17 Seconds covers album she's putting out for Record Store Day though on vinyl, so that's pretty cool.
oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, so
Oh, I'll get that too.
I think
if
it's
can
like
find it.
I think it's the summer whatever, since they're breaking it up into different whatevers.
Yeah.
But, so that'd be cool. But let's move on to greener pastures. We got Kate here, so there's no way we're not going to talk about Curethreads and her lovely business she started up. And I want to hear the origins of how this all got rolling, because you have some amazing merchandise over there and cool designs and just a really cool online shop. So what was the start of that? How'd that all come to be?
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you to say, Gavin. I've done product development as a graphic designer over the years, as one of my part-time freelance jobs. And I have a friend who I've worked with, and she was developing mask designs when COVID really hit, and they said, oh, well, yeah, you can wear cloth masks. So she had a vendor that she was creating cloth masks and asked me to do some designs. And I said, hey, could I do some for myself? That I would like to sell on my own? Because I was in full Cure obsession mode after seeing them in 2019 at Pasadena, and just, you know, finding all these new people online, the whole next generation of Cure fans, you know, the kids that are in their 20s and whatnot. Right. And remembering what it was like as a Cure fan when I was starting out and wanting so bad to just wear whatever Robert Smith was wearing to, you know, even as a girl, like I went to the Gap and bought polka dot shirts, and anything that I could find that was remotely like a Robert Smith thing.
No kidding.
And
I spent so much time in the like ladies department at Leggett's going through all the flower shirts, just trying to find that perfect blouse. You know, I was like, I know there's gonna be one in here somewhere.
And you found some good ones.
Yeah, I came close, but I always looked more like what was it, Parker Lewis, Can't Lose, and you know, the part that broke my heart was like, I still don't look like Robert Smith. I'm just a dude in a kid in a flowery shirt. But anyway,
button it all the way up, bud.
Yeah, all the way. So, yeah. But yeah, totally agree. Sorry.
Yeah, like we tried so hard. So it's easy now because you can make your own stuff and have other companies print it on demand and whatnot. So I started with the masks, as I thought, well, if I was going to wear a mask, what would I want to have on it? And immediately thought about disintegration and the album cover, and then thought, well, I can't just put the album cover on a mask, even though other people are doing it already, because I have some integrity. So I want to just do something different. Yeah. So, and as an illustrator, I thought, okay, I can make something that's like a little different.
Right.
So I did, and I thought about the flower shirts, and that the Love Cats sweatshirt, and thought they would be good patterns, and tried those out, and people responded to it. So that's awesome. I started going into t-shirts and whatnot.
The flower pattern shirt stuff that you do is my favorite. I was looking through your shit, and like the boxer briefs. Like with the flower print, I was like, yo, and like that's so it was like a blanket of that. I was like, damn, like, but the boxer briefs, I was like, bitch, like, yo, like, this shit looks great. Like, I'm so getting a pair of those motherfuckers, and I'm gonna prance around my house, and then like, look, look at me. Because they look that great, man.
I gotta say,
that was good.
Like, thank you. Those are very good, like, comfy quality fabric on those, I have to say. And the ladies' briefs as well have been selling actually pretty well recently.
That's
There's
awesome.
Something about wearing Robert's face on your butt cheek that appeals to people. It just makes you giggle when you put it on.
It gives you a little extra power. Yeah, to make it through the day.
It was like, all right. It's really impressive.
It's still better than those really bad bathing suits. What are those, Chaz? Do you know like where these things came from? These bathing suits and Hawaiian shirts and whatnot?
I have no fucking clue. It's this. I think it's a company that like got everybody's phone number somehow.
Yeah.
And just like somehow targeted ads through text messages towards Cure fans.
It's so weird.
And they're terrible. Like it's I don't think it's a bot that's putting it all together, but it could be.
It sounds like a conspiracy theory, like a QAnon.
It blows my mind.
You wouldn't trust any of this thing, man.
It's
but like I don't really know what they are, and like they don't make any sense. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That like gets me. Like it's like nobody would ever buy that. Like maybe one person, but like
Yeah.
it's not.
And I wonder, even if you
You
tried to
know.
order it, would it even show up? I mean, it seems like it's like gotta
That
be a
was-
scam or something, because it's so.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, I just wonder if other fans are getting like other ones. Are there like Billie Eilish ones going out to all her fans or something, or are they all just? It's gotta be.
I would assume
Probably.
so, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's so weird.
We're all going to
But
be
that's
walking around in the same
fashion.
jacket with different bands on it.
Who knows? But anyway,
That's modern fashion and design, man.
we digress. None of that going on with Curethreads. So.
No.
No, not at all.
No.
But yeah, I mean, you did a great job of just like picking those ones that we all looked at. I think in those the books and stuff. That Love Cats one in particular is just like everyone's
Yeah.
been like, that shirt is wild. Like, where the hell would you ever get one like that? It's like you're never gonna find that.
Is that the sweatshirt one? Like the long sleeve one?
Yeah, with like the little cat dudes. And
Yeah, that's ill as shit too.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
So yeah, how like when you're designing it, how tough is it to a lot of these, they don't have a great reference photo or like one that you can really pull from, or you just kind of eyeball it, or how's it work?
Yeah, I try. I find as many photos as I can, and I work in Procreate, so I'll take, find as many, like, especially the flower shirts. The flower shirts are
Yeah.
the hardest because
Right.
the photo quality of those is really poor. And so I've had to kind of fill in the gaps with, like, other pictures of roses and
Touch them up
whatnot.
a bit.
Touch them up, just like kind of improvising
Yeah.
a bit, and getting the general feel. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
But I spend a lot of time on it. My husband will tell you. When I was working on the one that is, Robert's face, that's like the disintegration inspired
Yeah.
version. I was working on that and tweaking Robert Smith's mouth. Like, the problem with working digitally in Procreate is that you can undo and redo and undo and redo and undo and redo
It's a rabbit
indefinitely.
hole.
And so I was doing this, and my husband's like, I could just tell by the look on his face as he was walking by that I'm still working on this one. I'm like, no, it's going to be worth it, but it has to be right. It can't. People are going to know if it's wrong.
Absolutely.
It's important. So, I spend a lot of time.
So were you inspired with the fact that like nobody was making stuff like this, and that
Pretty much.
there was a void? Because
Exactly.
that's how I felt when I started making shirts. That like, yeah, there's a void here, and I want to fill it because the band's not going to do it. So, yeah.
Exactly. Well, there's the void is that people have been waiting for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For anything new from the band. I mean, I bought the ugliest t-shirts. I'm sorry, but they were really ugly, the ones that came from the Pasadena
Yeah.
show.
Oh.
And I still bought them because they were Cure stuff.
Yep.
And we deserve better, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
And that service that you order them from that takes so long, if they ever do come, if
Right.
the products that come out of their store, which is not controlled by the band. Like, that is
Yeah.
some large company that does it for lots of bands, and it sucks that the band isn't overseeing it, but they can't oversee everything.
Yeah.
You know?
They signed off on that stuff a long time ago. The Team Cure jersey. That one gets to me each time like I see it, just because I know I had told Gavin about that, like I wanted to do that, like back when I first started. I was just like,
Yeah.
I want to do that and like this, and like as soon as I started getting into it, I was just like, I don't fucking know where to look for any of this stuff, so I'm gonna give up and do something else. So like once you put it like we're gonna do that, I was stoked. So, and I was just like, well, maybe she'll do the hockey jersey next. And I'm just
You can actually buy CCCP hockey jersey, duplicates on eBay and whatnot. So
Yeah.
I thought about it.
that would be more complicated.
Yeah.
That would be more complicated. But the only reason I was really able to do the Team Cure jersey is because the company that makes the masks, their main business, and they're based in, it's a small family business in California.
Yeah.
It's a Mexican family who came here from Mexico, and they're you know, they're making it work. They're working really, really hard, and their main business is supplying jerseys to nonprofits for like races and whatnot, and high school sports.
Yeah.
So they already had football jerseys. And this is more like an American football jersey than it is, you know, a soccer jersey.
Yeah. But even still, like I remember sitting just on my phone and computer looking for hours, trying to find one that I liked that was close to the ones in the pictures, and I couldn't find one that I was like I even wanted to invest the money in to do it. So that's bravo on your part. It looks. I think it looked great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite that you've done so far, Kate?
I actually really like the most recent thing that I'm going to start putting on things, which is the caterpillar design.
Cool.
Ooh.
It's like a frame from the video, and right now I just have it available as art prints.
Yeah. That looks beautiful.
But I'm going to put that on some like.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
Very pretty.
So that I think that would be nice on water bottles, and the way the company that I'm working with, like anybody could do this. You could go to printify.com and you can set up an account, and I mean, I'm just giving away my secret.
All right.
But if you don't know how to do design, then it doesn't matter. But they have vendors, so they make everything.
Yeah.
You can find it's like a company that will source things out all over for you.
But to make a really cool one like you guys do, that takes skill and talent for sure. So you see so many
just having a good eye.
Designs out there that are just like, whoa, what is going on? Going back to our mention of those.
Oh, I've seen some shitty ones.
Yeah, I mean,
the shitty ones are my favorite though.
Yeah, I
like
mean,
I kind of just want to buy them just to be like, wow.
Yeah, it's like, what is going on?
Yeah, one of the things that bothered me was when I bought a shirt off eBay that was like, I think it was like $12, and it was like I think it might have been a Love Cats one or something, and it's a piece of garbage.
Yeah,
like the print's like already like the print's like on it to begin with, and like it all fits weird, and like it's not worth the $12 I spent on it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
that was kind of like,
I got hosed right before you started making them too, real bad, and it was just like a generic like head on the door like kind of album cover on a shirt. You know, it was like the most like to me it was like the most kind of just generic Gadzooks kind of whatever, you know thing. And I got it, and it was like a damn iron on the thing. You know, it looked like I'd made it like one of those things you buy at like Staples, and you just print it on your computer and iron it. I was like, what is this crap? You know, it's like you watch it once and it was like falling apart already. I was like, jeez, man. It was like, I just felt
You're just like, I'm gonna wear this when I mow the lawn.
Yeah, it was totally. It was like, well, this will be
artwork or some shit.
Yeah, like, well, this will be the Cure shirt I sleep in, and this will be the one I eat my spaghetti in. And
the spaghetti shirt.
The specific spaghetti.
No, I really need like a specific spaghetti shirt right now. That's
some of those.
I mean, pasta. Oh, there's a lot of sauce there.
But
I like the caterpillar design that's on here. It would be really awesome, and this is just like out of the box. But like I'd like that as like a giant towel for the beach.
Ooh.
I'm just like,
that would look cool.
That would be awesome. So, but that's just me. I'm just like, it's like I just look at that design and I just walk up to a like on the beach with a towel.
Like,
which is pretty cool.
It's tropical, right? Tropical plants.
I could also just be high. I don't know. but yeah, like like now that the band's not going to do it, I want to buy stuff from friends, yes, but also from fans of the band. Like I'm done with like suspect bullshit on like Etsy and eBay, or even some of the t-shirt people that are bootlegging stuff. That's like, it's not quality, it's not thought out, it's not, there's no heart in it. Like, it's, you just slap this together and
Right.
you're selling it for 3 times the amount that you should be, kind of feeling.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yep.
And that's it. I mean,
I appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally.
both of you guys, in the sense of like, even if the Cure stumbles across this or sees it somehow, I mean, they got to know so much love is in this, like if you're recreating some shirt he wore in like 1992 that was a blurry image and you're creating it with your own artwork, it's like, come on, dude, what the hell?
Or just like, there's so many great images to like build on.
Yeah.
And it's just like, y'all are filling in the gap. Like someone has to fucking do this.
I feel like times have changed a lot since the days where even when you would go to the Spectrum and see a show and then they would take your camera because you took a picture with a disposable camera.
Yeah.
Or, the copyright infringement is difficult for anybody to enforce with the internet. But on the other hand, the sharing, like in a way, it's just the viral sharing helps the band.
Yeah.
And I feel like my biggest wish is, like, say, for the next tour, which sounds like it could be next year, to be like a Grateful Dead shows. They would have people selling like Grateful Dead merchandise, and like they're just fans selling shit out in the parking lot, and there's no problem with it. Just like they were all like exchanging tapes.
Like, hey man, you want a grilled cheese
like,
sandwich or a Cure shirt? Like, yeah,
that's right. So like, Chaz and I could set up like a cart, like be like a kind of like a food truck. You could get your smoothie,
nitrous
and
tanks
your
and shit. Like,
Cure shirt.
Down.
You could have that. You have Matthew Linehan there selling his art prints, and he's such a great guy. Like, he's another guy that like I'm in awe of and inspired by to like do stuff. So I don't know if you guys, I know Gavin knows him just from the New York concert you met him at with me. But he's such a nice guy, and his illustrations and artwork blow me away. And like, it's stuff like that like is so special, like that you share between fans. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I don't know. I've met so many people now, and like talked to so many people, and like became friends with so many people just by making shirts. And so many people are cool with it. And every once in a while you run into a dick, but it is what it is. So have you gotten any shit from anybody, Kate?
No.
Wow.
I have not, actually.
Okay.
All I've gotten so far have been really gracious notes here and there. When people order something, they'll say, "Thank you so much for what you do."
That's awesome. Yeah, get those too.
It's really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've gotten. Whenever I get it, I usually text Gavin, so he knows about it all. So I'm just, it's yeah. Oh, it's surprising. Maybe because like your stuff is more illustrated, and like there's more of a like artistic difference. I don't know. Like yours is more involved than what I do. So I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit more.
What kind of shit do they give you?
Oh my god! Like you're stealing. I'm stealing
issue?
from the band, and that I should be giving all the money to the band, and all this, like, just on and on and on.
Because the band needs those people to be looking out for them.
Exactly.
and it keeps like that myth and that lore of the Cure, like the imagery, like it keeps that going. Like it does nothing but like add to
You would think,
the band, like it just perpetuates it like so nicely, like
people are walking around with an ad from like 1982 on their chest for the band. I mean, it's like, it's like, come on, man, you don't get a better promotion than that. What the hell?
And we're fucking talking about it right
Yeah.
now.
So,
Like, come on, like,
Yeah.
you know?
who knows?
So-
But yeah, I love
So,
it.
Kate, what about some Robert High Tops?
Yeah. Signature high tops would be
Figure out
pretty-
shoes, Kate. Come on.
High tech.
That would be pretty rad.
Yeah, I need to find a different vendor
Yeah.
for that. I don't know. That sounds specialized.
Yeah, I'm
pretty
so
rad.
tired of looking for those things on like eBay and like
Yeah.
it's like ridiculous.
So comfy.
Like, yeah, just like being an adult wearing high tops. It's just like,
There's a reason for that.
yeah, and not like high top, but not even like high top chucks where it's like tight to the ankle,
Yeah.
but like big puffy motherfuckers. And like,
Grab that tongue and jump right in. Dude.
yeah, and it's like I'll pull the tongue out a little bit. It's
Yeah.
like, all right,
I-
you know, it's like exaggerate it more.
I always swore he must have like some kind of
know?
like tongue extensions put on his or something. It was just so much bigger than
It's
Yeah.
like I've really had like a whole Reebok obsession lately. Like if we're talking fashion and shoes and design, like throwback Reeboks.
Well, I'm
Right.
looking online right now, and you can get some pretty styling Reeboks at PacSun for $75.
That's a lot of money.
Ouch.
Fucking son.
That's some scratch there, man.
Well,
So besides the caterpillar design, what else? Do you have anything else in the future that you're looking to possibly do? Like, not to give away too much.
I like going through the old videos and like finding still shots of interesting things. So I was thinking about doing something with and I actually mentioning this, the walk. So your walk t-shirt that
Yeah.
you did that I have is one of my it's my favorite Cure shirt
Aw,
right
thank
now,
you.
above my
Thank you.
own. Because it's that is a really good quality thick
Yeah.
shirt, and it's very much like the old
Yeah.
school
Yeah.
t-shirts. Like none of this like thin fabric where you can see through stuff. It's nice and
Robust.
I don't know. It's robust.
Soft and heavy,
Robust.
just like me.
Yes.
To be on your tombstone. Soft and
Exactly.
heavy.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
Here lies Chad, soft and heavy.
I want to give you a hug right now. I'm like, damn, you are soft and heavy.
So there are parts of like the walk video where there's like strange things flying through the air that look like kind of like silly putty.
Yeah.
I don't know what it
Okay.
is.
Yeah,
Silly
yeah,
string.
You know what I'm
like-
talking about?
Like
There's
puffy
like weird
paint.
things, and then
Like
there's
neon puffy
the
paint.
kids' toys. Yeah, neon paint. Kids' toys. He's sitting in a pool, like a kid's pool at one point, like just to do like a fun summer silly pattern that has
Yeah.
these things in it.
Nice.
Might be fun.
Sounds rad.
And I want to do some dresses and skirts for the
Oh, it's-
ladies. And this is
yeah.
something I think that this is like a void that perhaps all Cure merchandise has left is merchandise for
Yep.
women that women feel okay wearing, and it doesn't look like a big
Right.
men's t-shirt.
Right.
No offense,
No.
because I like the men's big t-shirt, but you can't wear them all the time when you're in your 40s. It looks weird.
Yeah, I got a lot of requests for women's shirts, and like, I can do them. It's just it's so time consuming, like separating and like getting like the right sizes, because that's another thing that like I don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
and they're just like, what size
Yeah.
is it? And I'm like,
Yeah.
I can give you the measurements, but like I don't really know like
Yeah.
quality wise or anything like that. So it's definite
Yeah.
void that's awesome that you're filling. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's fucking sick.
Thanks.
Your children's books look amazing on here too. They actually have like awesome artwork. And so do you illustrate those? Do you write any of them too, or is this someone you work with consistently? Or?
So far, all the books that I've had published, I've illustrated and are written by a different author. So there's a series called the Secret Life series, and so next week on Tuesday, Tuesday, yeah, the day before Robert Smith's birthday, my next book will come out, and it is The Secret Life of the Sloth.
Awesome.
Yay!
Yeah, they
One
look
of my
amazing.
top 5 animals.
Which sloth
Yeah,
is it? Oh, sweet.
They look rad.
because they're soft and heavy.
I kind of analyzed, like, while drawing them, that there are certain species of sloth that look like they're wearing Robert Smith makeup.
Cool.
That's nice.
So
Yeah, we'll definitely get that link out there. That sounds cool. Can you'll be able to order it through Curethreads, or do you have a preferred spot for that?
So I will put a handful of them on
Okay.
my Curethreads page to order that I will sign and personalize for people, and also include a
Excellent.
print that you can frame and put on the wall.
Very nice.
And this book is very special because, well, one, when I was working on it, it was 2019, and that was the year that The Cure went through the Hall of Fame thing, and then they did the Australia show, and then they came to America eventually. And in that process, in that year, my nephew, who I had been planning to dedicate this book to, who was about to turn a year old, passed away while I was working on it. And he was like napping at daycare, and he just stopped breathing. And so I know it's like a sad moment, but
Yeah, so
but
sorry to hear
it's
that.
important for me to talk about, because it has so much to do with this book. Is like really meaningful to me. And the whole time I was working on the paintings, I was thinking about him, and I was listening to all my favorite Cure songs, because that's what kept me going, you know. And that helps me put like an atmospheric effect into my paintings, is listening to songs that have an atmospheric feeling to them. So it's linked.
Yeah. Well, that sounds real special.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't wait to check it out. So, any chance of a Cure themed book?
You know what? I've had like a really good idea about that, but the only way to do it is to legally license lyrics. And that's really complicated, especially when the person who approves these things doesn't have a manager or a company that manages them, is doing everything independently right now. So there's like no way to contact that person. I had a great, wouldn't Friday I'm in Love be a really cute children's book?
Yeah.
If every page was like the different day of the week and the
yeah.
different colors. And that could be such a great tie-in with the Wish anniversary and the Friday I'm in Love but in order to do that in time to like have it come out and be like official, where it could be advertised and whatnot, it would need to be in production. Like I would need to be like working on it right now. And I've done what I could do to try to reach out and get that kind of licensing, which costs money too,
tough.
and it's complicated, but it's just not. It's not a thing. Maybe some other
For
day,
the
maybe
Wild
some other
Mood
year, but it's
Swings,
not happening right now.
30th. You could do a
Mint car.
Yeah, there you go.
Make
There
car
you go,
one.
a mint car.
Yes. I think you're doing an amazing job with all these and so many cool outlets and just non-cure related things on here. Even it's just fun browsing through Curethreads.com. Even, you know, it's fun just to see all the stuff that you missed at one point and just seeing your actual art prints and everything. You know, just like so cool. So definitely
solid. I appreciate it.
Can't recommend people out there enough to go check it out. And thanks so much for talking with us.
Anytime you talk about wild moose things, Kate,
we won't invite Donald for that portion next time.
But if you want to do a podcast, and I'll shit all over.
Anytime.
On a more positive finale, thank you so much for talking with us and sharing your stories and the origins of your Cure fandom and Curethreads.com. So everybody go check it out. We'll put links to all this in the Facebook thread, of course. So hopefully talk to you again soon, Kate. We'll have you back on if you're willing to put up with us.
Thank you,
I didn't hear her answer. Donald? I'll assume that was a maybe, at least. Cool. Well, thank you very much. And we'll let you go for the
thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
And Donald and Chaz, as always, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Fun. This is very pleasant. I love every minute of it.
All right. Good. Don't forget to drink lots of water before bed and get some good rest. All right. On that note, we'll say talk hard, and we'll catch you next time. Again, a very special thank you to Kate for joining us. Always a pleasure talking with you. And be sure to go over to Curethreads.com to check out all this stuff that we've been talking about. Seeing cool Cure-inspired designs. And most specifically, her new book, Secret Life of the Sloth. So it looked like there was a few copies over there still available. You can get a signed copy. So go get that as soon as possible. And if it's somehow not available on Curethreads.com, I'm sure you could drop her a message there or drop us, and we'll figure out where we can find this for you. So, again, very special thanks, Don, Chaz, and you guys for listening out there. Be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you're listening to your podcast. On YouTube, you can subscribe on there to get all the notifications for new episodes. And in the month of May, we're going to be uploading all the old 2016 tour episodes that Arusha was out in the field recording first-hand accounts of the shows. So we got the first batch up already. Probably next week we'll do the second batch, and there'll be 3 batches in May, and we'll have all the way from New Orleans to Wembley, and all the Cure memories from 2016 will be back in the official thread. They've always been there on YouTube if you want to check that out, which I highly recommend. So aside from that, just follow us on Instagram. You'll get all the details on that kind of thing and more on upcoming episodes and such. So the Holy Hour podcast on Instagram. Check out the Facebook page where you'll be able to find links to all of the cool stuff that we talked about this episode and in the past. So if you're not following us on any of the links for Kate's products and such, just go over to the Facebook page and we'll have them in there for you to check out. And on top of that, you know what? If you still have any questions, just drop me an email at gavinconnor@gmail.com. Be glad to answer your questions or thoughts or concerns, anything along those lines. Drop me a message. Always love to hear from you. And you know what? If you can't just get enough Cure gear in your life, go check out 17secondshirts.bigcartel.com where you can see what Chaz has to offer at the moment. And I hear his shirts are very soft and very heavy, so quality material over there that you will be totally 100% satisfied. I did inventory in my closet recently combined with my original Cure shirts and a few random knockoffs, including my spaghetti Cure shirt, I'm up to about 54 Cure shirts now. So hopefully I could break 100 by the end of my lifespan. So it's good to have goals, guys, and a good place to start is 17secondshirts.bigcartel.com. And on that note, we will see you soon. I think coming up next, we have a spin-off. We're going to steer away from the Cure for the episode, in a sense, and talk to Tobias Grave from Softkill. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, we got a real cool conversation I'm going to try to get up next episode. Now put on some Wild Mood Swings and throw that album an appropriate birthday party. Good night.
It never turns out how you want. I can't be seen. It all just slips away. It always slips away.